volunteer, and she is here tonight to talk about her journey. Would you please make Simone welcome?
You know when you set out to drive to a location but you don't know how to get there? So you enter the address to your sat-nav system in your car or your phone, and then you follow the guidance instructions. Once you've set it, you forget it. You can relax and enjoy the journey, right? Well, I'd like to share with you a particular journey of mine that started 11 years ago. At that time, I was a mum to Joshua, an energetic, 1-year-old, beautiful boy. I was also pregnant again with a little girl. Yep, a pigeon pair. When Charlotte was born, she looked beautiful, and it was such a joy to hold my newborn daughter. I couldn't wait to take her home. But when I went back to my hospital room for a sleep after the birth, the nurses woke me a few hours later to say that Charlotte had died, but they said we resuscitated her and we don't know why this happened. Charlotte died 3 days later in our arms from a rare genetic condition called listen carefully, which meant that her brain hadn't developed properly. When Charlotte died, the plug was pulled forever on my sat-nav life plan. Part of me died that day too. The core of who I was, what I thought my life would be, completely shifted in that moment. I was sideswiped by a catastrophic life event that I never saw coming. And so began another journey. But this time, it was an unplanned journey, without any destination or a sat-nav life plan. Well, no life plan at all, really. I was lost, struggling and in pain. I aimlessly travelled down dark roads, directionless, trying anything to avoid feeling pain. I was constantly questioning myself, why me? What did I do wrong? There were no answers, just intense sadness, loneliness and isolation. I fell pregnant again 4 months after Charlotte died, and devastatingly I suffered a miscarriage at 12 weeks. I truly wondered how I could ever survive this intense emotional pain. Christmas 1 month later was a really difficult time. Even putting up Christmas decorations felt like a chore, an obligation. It should have been a happy time, but I didn't feel the joy. I wanted my little Josh to experience the joy and wonderment of Christmas, Santa, family and opening prezzies. I tried to put on a happy face for Josh and others who visited, but it was only a mask. I felt numb and isolated in my pain and my grief. At the lowest point in my grief journey, I was connected with Red Nose. The caring and compassionate staff in this organisation truly got me and did everything they could to help me walk a new journey. In fact, they walked the journey with me until I could make my own way in life again. I've now set my sat-nav life course for an amazing life for my children and I. Everything in this sat-nav life journey is very different from 11 years ago. My relationship path, my career path, and also my life goals in general. In fact, I'm now an anxiety and trauma therapist. The pain from losing my babies will always be a part of me. But I can breathe now, and I can live again. Red Nose has been an integral part of my journey from grief to joy. And I can honestly say that I now enjoy this time of year, the lead up to Christmas, decorating our own family tree each December, visiting all the awesome Christmas lights in Canberra, and of course Christmas itself and all that it represents: love, peace, family, joy, food and presents. The Canberra Christmas tree brings a lot of joy to many people. Thank you to Red Nose and the wonderful sponsors for making this happen. I can't help but feel all smiley on the inside out when I look at this beautifully decorated tree. And yes, it is wonderful to feel that way again. Thank you.
Thank you, Simone. I'm sure you will all agree with me that it takes a very brave person to come up on stage and share their experience. I'd like to thank everyone who is here this evening. You've made a direct contribution to the lives of many in our community who've experienced the tragic and heartbreaking loss of a little one just like Simone.